guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the King Kong review series. And today I want to talk about a film that's been on my radar for over a decade. Back in 2007, when I first joined YouTube, I was beginning to gather a lot of information on the many King Kong films on the internet, gathering photos, articles, and films on the beloved ape. Normally, one of the things I do on a daily or weekly basis on the site is check what new Kong material appears in the Today's section of YouTube content, and one of the first films I discovered on this format was a production that released its trailer in 2006, but ended up being released a mere 5 years later. What is this film, you might ask? None other than the spoof-titled and short film simply known as Big Chimp. Taking place in the UK this time around, the film follows a young actress, Anne Sparrow, whatever, seeking work with no luck. But luck comes in the form of an enthusiastic filmmaker, Carl Denham, who seeks out an adventurous project and instantly casts her in the main lead. Meeting up with Jack Pliskin, they set sail with Captain Matterhorn and set off for Big Gorilla Island.
We need a captain and a ship. Well, come along. HMS Pinafore, my own ship. Great. Girls and drinks. Let's go.
If you don't mind me saying, I was expecting something a little bit bigger.
Why are all these King Kong fan films just pure comedies? The jokes really land in all these films. Upon arriving on the island, the crew are attacked by a group of dollar store arts and crafts natives, and Anne is offered to the big chimp of the island.
Who the hell do you think went through there? Some guy in an ape suit?
But the chimp finds a unique interest in her and carries her off into the forest. But Anne is attacked by Barney the dinosaur? Well, that joke is pretty common with Kong spoofs. I mean, take a look at Baby Kong.
And run while he's fighting that big bad.
I get it.
I don't get it. But Jack manages to save her, and Carl uses a banana peel to knock the chimp out. Upon returning to England, Carl puts on a show with the big chimp. However, the show ends up being a flop like King Kong Lives, and the chimp, of course, escapes, grabs Anne, and climbs up a large building Donkey Kong style.
Fucking Dixie Kong flappers! God damn it!
I remember when I first saw this trailer for this short film, and I was really excited for it. But as time went on without the film in sight, I wondered if it would ever be released at all. But thankfully, around 2011, the film did arrive on YouTube, and it ended up being a pleasant comedic surprise. For almost the entire piece, the jokes really work. Hell, much better than Queen Kong. While most of it is a direct spoof of the 2005 Peter Jackson film, can you say satire of an obvious product placement for a 2005 remake?
Make room for the Kong-sized Whopper. Double beef. King Kong now playing.
The tone of the comedy, and especially the musical tones, match more to the early Jackson films of the late 80s and early 90s, like Meet the Feebles and Brain Dead. Hell, in my opinion, this feels like a film that Brad Jones would make on his channel.
No!
But it's also a great satire to the filmmaking in Hollywood at the time, with Carl talking about how movies only focus on the special effects rather than the atmosphere.
Why are we filming on an island when we could just go to a studio like everybody else? It's not the same thing, Jack. This is cinema. You need atmosphere, the real thing. Digitally paint Anne in later with CGI.
I also gotta commend the amount of production value given the low budget. A lot of the locations and effects aren't half bad. Speaking of which, let's talk about the effects. Keep in mind, these effects are made for comedic purposes, but for the most part, they're pretty fun to look at. The fight scene with Barney had me laughing hysterically, not to mention Big Chimp's wife at the end was a shockingly funny surprise. Overall, Big Chimp was a delightful little comedy short that pays tribute to the Peter Jackson film. While it is a low-budget production, it makes up for it with some cheesy effects, a fun tone, and a great satire of the filmmaking landscapes of the mid-2000s. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and give it a 7 out of 10. Funny enough, actually, this wasn't the only King Kong fan film that had a hard time getting off the ground via 2007. Tune in next time when I take a look at another short film that surprisingly most Kong fans have heard of but have never seen, simply titled Skull Island.